What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Beatitudes with the XSP. My name is the XSP. I'm a Christian rap and rock recording artist from Texas. And as I had mentioned in our last video, that Jesus' words are very powerful. As a matter of fact, they're meant to be applied to the life of those who believe in Jesus. His words go beyond Christian entertainment, which is where a lot of the culture is right here and now. When you have different streaming sites and different multimedia complexes doing depictions of Jesus and his life and also the disciples. But Jesus' words go beyond all forms of entertainment. They're meant to penetrate the hearts of those who believe in him and change their outlook on life. Matthew 5:5-6 says this: "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled." Now, let's first look at this word meek. There's often a misconception of what this word means. It is often looked at as being weak, which brings the mental picture of lacking power, lacking energy, or even being at the point of breaking. However, meek from a Greek word is praus, which means having strength under control, having impulses under control, having your strength and everything that's within you under control. It has to do with being able to humble yourself in the right moments and having strength in other moments. Those will inherit the earth. Those of us who choose to take on meekness and self-control will gain a reward and become blessed. Those of us who trust in the might of the Lord will gain God's favor. You see, we can have all the strength in the world and display it, but unless we are fully relying on God, we won't have the blessings that come with being meek. Now, I live in Texas, and in Texas, everything is bigger. So if you can imagine having a big state like Texas, there are food trucks, restaurants, everything displaying the world's biggest type of food. Now you have YouTube channels that display and glorify these mega appetites where they eat as much as they can. Now this is how the world puts their desires on display. Yet after every display of gluttony, they are never satisfied. Jesus counters the fleshly desires with spiritual desires, to hunger and to thirst for righteousness of God rather than the food and drink that fills up our bellies and stomachs. Rather than just looking after the fleshly needs and filling our bellies to the maximum capacity, we should fill our spirit with all that God would have for us. In this, believers can find true fulfillment and contentment. It doesn't matter how much you can eat. It doesn't matter how much you stuff yourself. Unless you're filling yourself with the righteousness of God, we will never be content. It doesn't matter how many fleshly desires we have. Unless we're filling our spiritual need, we won't be content or fulfilled. Overall, Christ brings a spiritual fulfillment as we reach out for him. As we do this with a humble heart, God will give the reward which comes from heaven. Jesus states very clearly that if we apply these teachings, we will have a blessed life. So I pose the question to you: do you hunger and thirst for righteousness, or do you hunger and thirst to fill your belly? And I ask you this: do you seek meekness and to apply that to your life, or do you see it as a sign of weakness? Because if you don't have the meekness and self-control, Jesus says you won't be blessed. Your life won't be blessed. But I want to declare to you, if you're a believer or if you're not a believer and you see a contrary life that you're living as in contrast to Jesus, then I want to let you know that Christ can come in and bring you fulfillment in your life. But that is, you have to choose him and you have to apply these teachings so that you can have a more blessed life. We'll be back for another one. Like, subscribe, and share, all that stuff. And remember, Jesus loves you. He wants to change your life.